together a team of professionals, local professionals, to help you really see how you can be on this path for yourself and your family.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the history teaching.
Yeah.
How it got started, connection with Dave.
Yep.
REOS, and really, I think if we could target those three things, I think that's.
Let me just kind of roll. I'll cut some footage. You can get it and do what you want with it.
Video for,
You don't have to look directly in the camera, or you can. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm gonna move around just a tad.
You want me to be
just give it a
following you
little-
while you move around, or just be talking at a particular thing?
I think we tried a couple different ways. I kind of like the idea of like
Walking?
actually walking a little bit.
Okay.
Although now you got a shadow on your face. Dang it.
I'm going to start with just the EOS for home buyer workshops,
Sure.
and then I'll go into the Churchill history, because you're going to be editing this, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm ready when you are.
Go ahead.
All right. We believe that every family deserves to be put on a path towards responsible home ownership, if not even debt-free living. We believe that because we know that if you can get into your home in a responsible manner, opportunities open up for you that you never dreamt were possible. Debt-free living truly does inspire hope, and hope opens up opportunities for family. That's why we have put together a team of local experts to help you find your path towards debt-free home ownership, regardless of where you are today. We know that owning a home in America today is one of the key elements to helping families build wealth.
Cool.
Can you work with that?
That was very good, yeah.
Good.
Okay. So Churchill Mortgage was founded March 13th, 1992 by Mike Hardwick. Mike had come through a variety of different businesses where he was working in banking. He founded a local community bank. One of the key elements to Mike's upbringing was he watched his parents as they built a church from nothing when they were 18 years old to one of the very first mega churches here in Nashville. By watching his family serve others, he was able to learn what it takes to really build an inspiring organization focused on the service of others and helping them accomplish what their dreams are. And so he took that and he started Churchill Mortgage with the intent to just be himself, a small team, and book a bunch of mortgage loans. The mortgage business at that time was really a cottage industry where a number of different individual mortgage brokers were popping up all over America because recent changes in legislation had really diminished the value or the ability of the savings and loans, where most people at that time would get their mortgage. So he thought he could hang a shingle, start a little mortgage business based on the principles that he learned from watching his parents build the church, the great mentors in his life up to that time, as well as his own personal experiences in dealing with the inappropriate use of debt. See, before this, he came within just a few weeks of personal bankruptcy because he used debt to really advance his financial causes. And like anything else, the overuse of debt can cause significant problems once the lender starts calling, and that's what happened. It put him within a few weeks of personal bankruptcy. So when he started Churchill, he decided to start it without using debt. He made a commitment up front to not finance the building of his company with debt. After a couple of years of going, a good friend of Mike's, Dave Ramsey, came to him with this idea of starting a radio show. See, Mike and Dave knew each other from when they were growing up, and they became really good friends during the late 80s, as they were both highly successful business people here just south of Nashville, Tennessee. Dave, just like Mike, also had come through a season where debt had knocked him to his knees. And Dave had come through bankruptcy and decided that he wanted to dedicate his life to teaching people how to avoid debt, how to live financially responsible, because he had suffered the pain of doing it the wrong way, the pain on his relationships, the pain on his family, and quite frankly, the pain on his own pride. And so Mike and Dave became friends. Dave came to Mike with this idea of starting a radio show. Mike said, "Dave, you're crazy. Who's going to listen to you, a guy who just came out of bankruptcy, talk to them about finances?" As many of you know Dave, if you listen to him, you realize he is truly relentless when he gets his mind on something worthy. and he felt that he was going to teach people something significant, which is how to live your life without the use of debt and all of the benefits that can come from that. And so he said, Mike, that's exactly why they'll listen to me, because I can teach them what not to do out of the pain of my own experiences. So Mike relented and actually became Dave's very first sponsor. Churchill Mortgage was the very first sponsor of the Dave Ramsey Show. For several years, it was a interesting relationship to where we didn't really get a whole lot of phone calls and a lot of customers calling us because they heard us on Dave's show. But after about 5 or 6 years, as Dave started to go out and sell his self-published book and also sell his syndication to his radio show, we started getting calls from all over Tennessee, from northern Alabama, from southern Kentucky, and Dave's radio show and Dave's book sales started to really take off. And as a result, we started getting a lot of phone calls from people that called us because they heard of us on the Dave Ramsey Show. Now, the reality behind the relationship is that we are a paid advertiser, and we're allowed to be a paid advertiser and Dave's very first sponsor because we have shared values, shared ideals. We run our company without debt. We coach our people that work here how to avoid debt and live financially responsible, because we know financially responsible employees are more productive people. They actually save some of their emotional capital, intellectual capital, instead of worried about where they are financially, to turning around and serving customers with excellence, because they've got clarity of mind and they've got a path and they know what they're talking about. And so we approach every customer with the heart of a teacher. So over the last 24 years, we've been teaching people how they can buy their home responsibly. We believe it is a privilege. It's our responsibility to teach every family we come into contact with how they can get on a path towards debt-free home ownership. And we believe that because we know when people can see how they can get to a debt-free living, it opens up opportunities that they never dreamt were possible. And when we can help those opportunities become realities, we're serving people well. And we also know that if we can do that, we not just create a transaction, but we can help transform families and build relationships to where we can walk with them throughout the course of their life in all of the various stages that they're going to need to buy homes, whether they're moving up, moving down, or simply got to a point in their life where they've worked through Dave's 7 baby steps, and now they're in a place to start investing in other types of real estate and truly building wealth. I don't know.
Let's hear a.
You want to just?
Let's do.
You're just piecing this together with a couple of snippets.
Can you do the whole story in 60 to 90 seconds? Just give us the short version.
What?
Give me the whole.
How Churchill began and where we are today. Started with
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
one branch, and now we're.
I'll give it a shot.
I think
Okay.
you work in the church values and
Okay.
kind of just really fast forward to where we are today.
Mike Hardwick started Churchill Mortgage back in March of 1992 with the hope to serve families of Middle Tennessee based on the principles that he learned from watching his parents build a megachurch here in Nashville, as well as his own experiences in going through some financial hardships through the overuse of debt. His vision was to start and help as many people here in Middle Tennessee finance their homes, blah, 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 blah.
You're on
blah,
our track.
blah.
Don't say mega church, just say church. Mega church sounds kind of cheesy.
You know what? You're cheesy.
I like this,
Yeah.
Josh.
No, you were on a good path. I liked
Churchill
it.
Mortgage was founded in March of 1992 by Mike Hardwick, who had a vision to build a company based on the principles he learned from watching his parents build a church here in Nashville, as well as his own experiences of going through financial hardships through the misuse of debt. His goal was to help as many families here in Middle Tennessee really finance their homes the right way and get to a point of responsible home ownership, if not even debt-free home ownership, what we call the real American dream of debt-free home ownership. Over the last 2 decades, we've been the only mortgage company that sponsored the Dave Ramsey Show. In fact, we were his very first sponsor and helped him get on the air 23 years ago. Since that time, we've grown this company based on core values of serving others, working hard, doing the right thing, and being there through the life cycle of people's home ownership, into a company that now has over 25 branches across the country. We're lending to people in over 35 states, and we truly believe it's our obligation. It's not just an obligation, it's a privilege to help people get towards or get on a path towards debt-free home ownership regardless of where they are today, because we know if we can do that, we can inspire hope, and hope helps build family.
I like that.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Okay?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you need?
Nope.
Cut it up.
That'll do it for me.
I mean, if for some reason you're not happy with it,
If